Hi everyone, hi friends, hi viewers. Welcome to my channel. Uh, Today is actually 13th of June 2021, 1 year ago on 13th of June. In case we can't hear me, please send in a comment, otherwise I'll continue speaking. On the 13th of June, on this day, last year, after 2 p.m., Sushant went missing. There's no news of him. We do not know where he is. His phone was shut off. Sorry, I need to clear my throat. Okay. He took his last breath on 13th of June, but we do not know what time it was, right? But after 2 p.m., he wasn't contactable. They couldn't even reach his phone. As per the forensic expert, Dr. Bhupesh, he said that Sushant Singh must have been murdered around 6 o'clock, 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening of 13th June. As per Vivek Anand Gupta, he said that he have a witness who said that Sushant dropped Riya Chakravarti on the late evening of 13th June. So we do know he was actually tortured, he was killed, he was brutally murdered on the 13th of June, probably late evening. Now, been 1 year till today, we don't have, there's no justice yet. We have been waiting and waiting. Okay, I got distracted. One message came in. Hi, everybody. Thank you, Pavitra. Srinivas, I will check with Deepti. If she's okay, then I'll probably put you up live. Let me check with her first, okay? Yeah, whatever question is it, please just ensure that you do not ensure is it's nice. It's nice. No, you do not hurt her in any way. So that's one thing I'm asking for because there've been some fake news that have been spreading around, which I'm a bit upset about when I read it. Good evening, Maimon, and of course, our system is sadly never gonna change. Okay, okay, Miss Deepti is here. Let me just put her up. Hi, Miss Deepti. Deepti
Hello,
ji,
hello. Yeah,
can you can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. Okay. Deepti ji, thank you so much for agreeing to do this show because I do know that you have been very busy and it's very tiring and tedious to go up on different channel and to read the slides. Thank you for that, first of all. And I also want to
Yeah.
tell you that, I mean after my last two videos, a lot of them they really love you. There's one of the viewer even sent a comment saying that I will follow through Deepti ji, whichever channel you go and watch her, you know. So you have that much on love. Of course, for the good deed that Deepti ji is doing, it's for the justice for not only Sri Devi, now she's working on the justice of Sushant Singh. There's some fake news have been going around. So my opinion or my view here is why are you looking at things around it? Why can't you just focus on the content of the video? Because DPG, to be very frank, if I'm living in Mumbai now, this content that you're sharing is very important for me. Because
Exactly.
yes, if I have a daughter, I would want to protect her. I would tell her don't join any talent agency because the girls are being drugged. They've been when they become sent to prostitution eventually. So there's not only this information. There's a lot of information in the diary. And knowing
See,
Sushant,
not only people living in Mumbai. See, because now, see, similar cases have started happening down south as well, right? We have
correct,
VJ Chitra as well. We have had a J Lalita as well. We have had a YS Rajshekar Reddy as well. So it's not that. Uh, it's a system. I mean, it's as a country we should be very, very concerned. Okay, how things are going, how police officers. I mean, recent news that have come out are very disturbing. Are very disturbing for the image of India because you see, police officer is getting arrested for being an extortionist,
yes,
and he names his higher officer as the one who. I mean, it was a total circus. Ultimately, it came down to nothing. What has happened to that investigation? What is going on now?
correct, true.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. I mean, I shouldn't just mention Mumbai. I mean, everywhere, anywhere in the world, I think all of us should know what is happening around us so that we can be protected. I strongly believe this is one of the reasons why Sushant was actually murdered. He wanted to expose something. Why he would want to? He could have just been happy with his life, getting good projects, just spend with whatever they're doing, close his eyes. But he did not do that. He was, he's a guy who's very truthful. He's a genuine person. He's a kind soul. He not only wanted to,
He
uh,
was a concerned citizen. He was a concerned citizen, actually. Apart from being a genius and supremely talented in whatever he did, he was, I mean, he had all the right values in place. Despite, I mean, it was his passion which brought him into films, but after seeing the dark side of the Bollywood, especially, I think, because I will read one slide here, which will exactly tell you what his frame of mind was.
okay.
Okay, so he is like saying, I will change this. He's kind of saying that. Please correct me, please remind me if I have read the slide earlier. Okay. Um, this thing about where he has mentioned about Jia Khan's murder and Paras Dogra road accident, anti-India movements. Have I read that?
No.
Parveen Bhabhi
But
murder and Disha murder. Have I read that?
in my channel, no.
No? Okay.
Mm.
Uh, so first, let us try to understand what frame of mind he was when he was noting them now. Okay, so many people have these questions that, oh, he started writing this after Desha's death. Then how come how could he write so much in 6 days' time? No, I mean, it is over 700 GB of data. It must have been written over a period of time. In some of the slides, it's mentioned September 2018. In some of the slides, Disha's death is mentioned. In some of the slides, there is mention of Sandeep and Nahar, Sandeep Nahar and Asif Basra.
Diptiji, are you there? You're actually frozen.
Because they're after Sushant. Yeah. Okay. So I'll read this here.
Okay.
Where there is a will, yeah. Where there is a will, there is a way. And what is the virtue of human life? To give into negativity or stay positive and fight to make the world a better place to live and make the place a better social place where every the values of truth shall stand strong and keep the war going. Recent changes in my life and the professional atmosphere I am in these days, but the fact is that no profession or personal issue are big when the entire existence of humanity is at stake. When my conscience started pricking me in my own personal capacity, feel that there is need to step up and do something to stop this. I have been breaking my brain behind this and have been doing a lot of legwork and research around the same. The amount of calls I am getting and the amount of emails I have got is being documented here. Till I am here, I will take care of everything. But when I am gone, there is nothing to worry. Because till this page opens up, no one will be able to spoil the work I have done. If you are reading this and have gotten access to this, you, I believe, are the person who will be, as it is mentioned in the holy verses of our religious text, who is the chosen one to solve this. I might have started it, but I might not be the chosen one to finish this. But yes, I am born as a human being. I have my own brain and my own set of thought processes. And the birth that I have got by the grace of God, I am trying to make it count. No complaints on anyone. But yes, it pains when I see that people who do matter and one word from them would have done a world of good. But what do we conclude? The conclusion is if Sushant Singh Rajput is killed, there will be the power of truth which will come back and take this further. This drive is the first one. I am starting to make notes and keep all my research and findings and shall mention about this in every angle I take up the summary of comments, which I shall be covering for now, would be as follows. Number one, Jia Khan's murder. It's not hanging, but it's a cold-blooded murder. Number two, Paras Dogra road accident. Though not such a high-profile figure, but was one prime witness. who could put light on the same case which is brushed aside, like that of Disha. This case, which is called A Lonely Murder, Parveen Babi. Number three, the biggest angle of how drugs is ruining the society and the connection why scientists are missing and the connection of this to organ and human trafficking. Number four, the various anti-India movements that are happening and the connection it has to every political party that was ever there, ever formed, or is still functioning. Number five, the connection between the black marketing, hawala, money laundering, and the schemes that have been running now. Number six, some hearsay events and the matters I have spoken to people and done some research around the same. If someone while reading this might feel what a movie star has to do with all this that is going around, I would like to put it in this way that I too am a human being. And when you would be reading this, I would be history. And if this helps someone to make sure effort would see the light of the day, then I would feel my life was fruitful. Part 1, My Conscience Speaks. So, Bachchanji here, kindly understand, I mean, he knew of the threat to his life and the kind of topics that he has covered here: organ trafficking, human trafficking, drugs, and the connection between black marketing, hawala, money laundering. I mean, these involve some big people, big influences, obviously some ministers, obviously some diplomats, obviously some bureaucrats, obviously some big businesses. Okay, so all this involved. So now, after reading this, we can actually get to know why he was killed and why the agencies or the authorities are not interested in bringing this truth out.
Okay.
Because he had done research on a lot of crimes that were happening since not now, it's happening since decades. Okay, so you want to say anything on this, Bachchanji, or any question that you want to ask
Okay,
before I
there's
move
one.
on to the next? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make the question very quick because a lot of people are excited to see to hear you read the slides. There's one question I've been commonly asked that why is there a disclaimer in your Twitter account when you actually expose the diaries?
Well, see, initially, I don't know what response I will get, because I started sharing the tweets as diaries after I had been to Mumbai twice. I tried to hand over these drives to SP Nupur Prasad, who is in charge of Sushant's case. Okay. When I was not able to meet them, I left it there. I had had some discussion. I had
Dipti, I can't hear you.
given him some instructions on the case, and he had acted on that as well. So I had left a message with him as well, that if you could try and contact Nupur Prasadji, kindly let her know that there are some drives I wanted to hand over. And all. He said they will definitely try. But then again, when on not receiving any sort of response from the CBI, I decided to go ahead and place it in the public domain. Okay. And why the disclaimer? Because some big names are involved. This is not my household. I
Dipti
cannot
ji,
vouch. I cannot
uh,
vouch.
Dipti ji, because your network is like on and off. I can hear you and then I can't hear you. Yeah. Uh,
Can you hear me
maybe.
now?
Yeah. Can.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Can. It's like within seconds it's frozen and then it network is going on and off.
Kindly give me 1 minute.
Okay.
I'll just
Okay.
check and come back.
Okay, sorry guys. I do know that you're excited about the slides. I mean, not excited. You want to know the truth, so you want to hear what's in the slides and waiting for Miss Deepti to read it. But there was a need to ask this question on the disclaimer because there's a lot of questions, many of them asking the same question. In my videos and as well as is happening in the Twitter. So I thought probably let's raise this question and let her clear that part of it so that it will clear a lot of doubts in people's mind. While she's coming back, I do know that one of the person, let me see, forget Srinivas. After she finished the slides, then I'll check with her whether I could actually put it up in the live stream. Okay. So as for the question that y'all are raising, as I said, I will cover it after the end of the video. In between, as much as possible, she will continue the slides. So yeah, hopefully network is okay. I still don't see her. Okay.
Hi,
Deepti
yes,
ji?
Bachanji. Yeah, you were.
Now better.
Yeah. So you were asking me about the disclaimer, right?
Yeah.
Disclaimer, because I don't see, this is not my work, and whatever I'm sharing, it has some big names mentioned in it. Okay. So, and these big names, let us be very clear, these big names have a lot of influence at the judiciary level as well, right? We are talking about, there are names of Mumbai India Foundation, uh, Reliance, and so there are very big names of big high profile names and all. And this is not my work. I cannot vouch for what is written. It is someone else's research, and that someone who has written is no more, right?
Makes
So
sense.
I have to take my own precautions, because if tomorrow they slap some, because this is not my work. Though the proofs are still mentioned, I mean, whatever he has written, he has also written that he has some proofs and videos in the drives that I'm yet to decode. Okay, but still, giving a disclaimer made sense, as long as the message, as the message was reaching to the people. I don't see people having a problem with it.
Yeah. Well explained, Deepti ji. Makes sense. What are you actually telling now? So I hope a lot of people will get, will be cleared of this doubt. So we can actually go on to the next slide.
Okay. Okay. All right. Um, so okay. So have I mentioned that drive wherein he was talking about his papers and his diary getting destroyed and burnt? Have
No,
I?
I don't think you read that. No.
Okay. All right. So, one of the main reasons for me to write in such details was, since the day I have gotten into all this, I have made my efforts to reach out to the people who I felt would have gotten to the root of the cause. But none seemed interested or showed even the slightest of the concern to give me time to say what I had to say. Now, when that happens, it clearly means that the mess is not something which is unknown. Everyone is well aware of what is happening around, and yet has turned blind, deaf, and dumb, and have turned non responsive too. I pay my taxes on time and I do my duty honestly. Still, I am not being given a chance to share my findings out, and yet being told to keep my mouth shut on all these things. What is my role here? What is my gain by doing all this? What must be the next step I must be taking? Is a big confusion, which I know time will answer for sure. I duly apologize and I am sorry for eating up the time of your time. But I am sure that if something happens to me tomorrow and you read this, if something happens to me, the dead cannot speak. And if you have laid your hands on this, that means I have stopped breathing. And I don't want you to go through the same pain that I have gone through. And God Almighty only knows what kind of situation you would be in, mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. If the myth that a soul can see everything from above and does guide people, which I myself have experienced too, during the course of this, when you get to that stage where the efforts of viewers are close to results and you are under any pressure, this work of mine will guide you to a spot. And there you will find something which will actually help you fight this much better. Okay. If giving this out right now might make you feel that you have become successful in trying to destroy my work, let me make one point very clear over here, that each and every single file is encrypted, and you will need real effort to destroy the encryption and try to understand what is the real research all about. But if you found success in opening this page after reading up the matter, which I had carefully streamlined in a jumbled way, then that means yours and my thought process is the same. I have been a person with a clean heart and always wished good to everyone. And I am sure, as my conscience says, that this will not get into wrong hands. Before you continue further, please remember one thing, that continuing from here means you are trying to give shape to the dreams of someone who laid his life for this. And any kind of intentions otherwise, kindly stop right here. My AI and other researchers are in right hands, and the moment I passed away, there is one team of frustrated individuals who shall come into action when everything shall die down and the matter will be forgotten altogether. So, not just the soul concept or the science behind souls. My team, the people whom I trust, the people neither the society nor you as a reader would be knowing now, till your actions start to show, will have any idea what plans and backups I have prepared. Okay. So he has gone about meticulously about this research of he is into this crime syndicate, crime network that the Bollywood has been indulging in since late 80s. Because the Mumbai blast, the planning of the Mumbai blast started in 1989. Okay, so since then, I mean, like, and we must also not forget the connection of Sajid Nadyatwala, Sanjay Dutt, the blasts, and everything. So since that time, I mean, Divya Bharati's death is also suspicious, and he has also mentioned Divya Bharati's death in his drives, along with Jia Khan's death, along with Srideviji's death. He has mentioned all these murders as well as murders. He has mentioned that all these were murders. Okay, so yeah, now I'll read that file wherein he has mentioned that his diary and his papers were destroyed and burnt. Okay. The reason I have given this out in this detail is because I was manhandled. And also, if a celebrity like me is stopped from speaking the truth, what has happened to the laws in our country? Are we not being used as puppets for someone who is sitting elsewhere and we are just being used for their own selfish motives, hatred, violence, and a lot of things which look small are totally connected to one another? And also, there is this concept that has been running in my brain for a long, long, long time. Now that every organized crime is done in such a way that it would look simple, like someone was trying to snatch a chain, or maybe some house burglary incident led to the death. But in order to understand the way these people work, we first need to analyze and make mental notes of deaths of normal citizens who were never in the limelight and have passed away in these accidents or robbery incidents. To quote as an example, so that when someone reads this, he instantly connects to my thought process. There was a death of a duty doctor of Sasun General Hospital in Pune in a road accident in 2017, which never made any news or gained any mileage in the media. The reason I am not describing this death in detail now is because of some concerns I have. And the way you, when reading this, will apply it in the mentioned intros I have given. This doctor was supposed to examine some medicines which would play a vital role in the Jan Aushadhi campaign that is being planned on a large scale. This accident clearly states that the people who got this done did not want the doctor to prescribe, promote, or spread the word about this. Despite meeting top police officials, people with heavy influence, and also a lot of people who are considered as the rule makers in the country today, if me, despite being a star, can be played with, I go out of words to try and analyze what would be the condition of the common citizen of our country. The pain I have taken and the time I have put behind this should not go waste. So I decided to write this down in so detail so that reading this minute of my work, and if applied properly with a clean and detached mind, can actually visualize what I am trying to say. It is very important that you understand each word of this introduction. I have taken so much pain to ensure I keep it as simple as possible. Because if you get this, then you can actually start from where I have stopped or was put to rest and continue from there without wasting much time. The incidents of my life that have happened, I am pained to write that my diary, my papers were destroyed and burnt. So I decided to do it this way so that at least this cannot be burnt or destroyed. Even if these drives are set on fire, the proof for the same is the fact that a true and honest soul like you who is getting to read this and be rest assured that even if this is burnt or destroyed, as I have spoken earlier, a team of my people will bring this out to the naked eye when the fuss about my death shall be written off, as and how the outcome would be shown in the media. Media has become a prostitute in the hands of these powerful people, and I have written in detail about those crooks in the media too, who are hand in glove with the people who want to spread hatred in our country. My conscience speaks. So his diaries and his papers were destroyed and burnt, after which he, started writing them in encrypted drives and files, saving the data, as per this slide. Okay. Bhajanji, please correct me. Have you read the slide wherein he mentioned Srideviji's death? No? No. Okay. So I'll mute. You're on mute.
I actually read it in your Twitter account, but I didn't read it in my channel.
I didn't read it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to make a mention of it here. All right. So the next aspect of the case would revolve around the connections between Bollywood, sport, and the underworld. I still remember it like yesterday, when the meetings of the Producers Guild happened to discuss the death of Sridevi. I was not able to attend the meeting physically, but one telephone call changed my entire perspective of the industry I worked for and I'm continuing to work for. Back then, I felt that the way things were explained to me, I was definitely under the impression that was an accidental drowning case. But the biggest question that remained in my mind and continues to remain is, why is the family silent? This was the first shock on my conscience. But what could be done? I am just mentioning about this to make people aware that this, what I have done, is not a joke. But the fact is that I am doing this only for myself because my conscience is making me do this. Kindly don't misunderstand me on anything, as I very carefully would want to make the reader who is reading this to understand that when the family is not interested in pursuing the case, what could I do? This made me do a lot of research around the same, which helped me reach to the roots of this cabal and conclude that this is real, filthy, and deep. The connections the connected industries have is filthy and deep and closely connected to each other. And this will be covered in a separate disc wherein I will do a detailed analysis on the same. And the thing is as simple as this. We are three people, myself, Asifji, and Sandeep. We will work on each of these aspects, which I shall explain in detail in the next part of this discussion. But before that, let me explain the total context on the various aspects that I am going to cover. This detailed analysis will be explained very, very carefully because the real heroine slash hero in real life is Sridevi ji. And we all are nothing but mere pieces of paper in front of her. I'm not sure what is the news that is out in social media platforms out that a team is doing its bit for the purpose of getting justice for the noble soul. But I'm not sure whether I should take help to reach out to this team and share infos that we got as a mandate from the Producers Guild. I will do my bit of research around this and will definitely try and get in touch with the team if my life is written that long. Anyone reading this, please don't get confused about what I was up to. But the real catalyst that did the role of filling my conscience with questions was the death of Sri Devi ji, which later started making a lot of sense when there came out some reports which made complete and total sense for me to conclude that what I as a human being was thinking all this while was true. And my conscience is clear as pure water, despite whatever is the situation I am facing since the time I started looking into these deaths. I would conclude this segment on the following notes. Every death that has been closed as mysterious is most probably a cold blooded murder which was brushed down the carpet with influence, status, power, and money. My conscience is clear. Any questions for me?
No, yeah, DPG, because the it's going on and off. I mean, of course, you can hear you most of the time, but sometimes it gets interrupted. That's all. Um, okay. Before you proceed, I just want to. Is there any slides about Disha Salian?
Disha, that I have only come across one where he has mentioned about her death being brushed aside. I don't know, it was written in the end, most probably. I'm yet to come across any more.
Okay. Sorry, I laughed because there's one comment that came up here. I wanted to laugh. Talking about fake. Now my name became fake too.
Okay, see, listen. One thing we must understand here that the names that are coming out in the drives, okay. See,
Mm,
till now this negative peer activity hasn't started, but as the drive started gaining momentum, people started noticing it, taking note of it. These negative people, I mean, PR plant because the names mentioned in these drives are of big influential people, big celebrities. These celebrities have their own IT cells to boost their popularity online. That is their profession, right? So they spend a lot on these things, IT. So their IT cell people, I mean, each one has more than 10 or 20 profiles. From different profiles,
mm,
they will come comment. So this
right.
will be there. This is expected. So anyway, our duty, what is in our hands is to present whatever truth has come or facts that we have in our hands. So let these people,
Right.
yeah, create obstacles, but truth will win. As Sushant believed, truth will definitely win. Okay.
It will. Continue, Deepti, with the slides because my viewers are all excited to hear you read the slides. So I'm trying not to ask question in between, but I feel it's relevant to ask that slide. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Did I read that slide about Black Buck shooting Salman Khan? I think I did. So
Yeah, I think so. You did. I think you read that. There's one slide I read about all the three cons that he actually was telling about individually about each of them. Do you have that slide? Or I let you speak.
uh,
I let you read whatever that you want to read first, and maybe later on we can come back to this.
okay. All right. Um, See, he has covered a lot of topics. He has done a research on a lot of topics, and he has been given indexes of all those because I haven't covered the entire contents. I mean, I haven't decoded the entire drive contents, so It's a ongoing work. As and how I am decoding the pages, I am sharing them here. So he has mentioned that, you know, wow, now in this chapter onwards, I would explain the formative years of this and how exactly it started taking shape in the country. This is not my effort, but someone else was working on this, and I got the infos on this during the course of my investigations. The chapter would go as follows. Introduction. The formation of the syndicate. A brief walkthrough. The rise of the mafia. The saga of how it gained popularity. What was the main reason for a lot of crimes that happened? The story of Mumbai underworld. The mistakes done. The rise of different dawns. The blunder. The various encounters. The reason behind this. The connection of the mafia to Bollywood. The death of Divya Bharti, a brief mention. The death of Gulshan Kumar. The death of Ranjan Kumar. The rise of Ravindra Kaushik. The roots of the cabal in some, he has left some gap. Read this along the slides. The rise of other small time dons. The connection the biographies of dons played in Bollywood. Some movies which were actually made with different intention. The Hasina Parker angle, the political connections, the conclusion. New chapter begins. So he has been actually doing a research, collecting proofs in a lot of, you know what, this dangerous things. Obviously, there was risk on his life. And we must not forget that 14 to 16 of his close friends, maybe that was the team that was working for him, the team that he was talking about. Right after or before his death, 14 to 16 of his friends were killed, of his close contacts. They died under mysterious circumstances. So we don't know if that is the team that he's talking about, right? If anyone from this team is still alive or not, if that was the team, if the entire team has been wiped out, we don't know. Okay. So, all right. So I had given a brief introduction to Divya Bharti in my initial slides, but now I will go ahead with the entire case into total details of it. I'm sure and won't be surprised that your mind will blow up when you are going to read this. The reason Divya Bharti married Sajid was because she wanted to get to root of the crime. It's great shame on us that only the times changed and the police didn't catch her. And the police didn't catch her.
Deepti ji, Deepti ji, can you hear me? Okay, I think we've lost her. She's frozen and you can't hear her also. Hmm. Can you hear me now? Okay. Sadly, today's network is also bad. And she's actually reading the slides. There'll be some, interruption is coming in also. Okay. So far she's actually Deepti ji.
Yes, Bachchanji, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can
Am
hear
I
you.
clear now?
Yeah, but your screen is frozen.
You're frozen. You're all frozen on the
I'm
screen.
frozen
Your screen is
so far.
frozen.
For me, I'm moving and your screen is frozen. I guess for you, I'm frozen.
Okay,
That is
how is it
confused.
now?
You're still frozen.
I'm
Okay,
still
let's ask the
frozen?
viewers. Yeah, you're still frozen. Viewers, what can y'all see? Is Diptiji frozen? Am I frozen? Please send a comment. On my side, you are frozen.
No, I can see you. I can see you now. I can hear you properly. Can you?
I can hear you, but your screen is frozen. Okay,
Okay.
according to the viewers, they said you are frozen.
Okay, shall we just log out and log in again? Maybe that will.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Oh gosh, it's interruption again. I remember on the part one when we first started, me and Deepti, there's a lot of interruption on that day until I had to end that stream and then start another stream. Too many interruption and distraction and all that. And Yes, we're encountering that again. I realize whenever she come on my channel, this what happens. Sadly. Okay, be patient, friends and viewers. Let's talk about 13th of June. Tonight, this night, this day, 13th of June, when I sit, in fact, at home, I was sitting down and I'm thinking 13th June, this was a period where a year ago, Sushant went through a lot of things happened that night, So soon after that, a lot of things got, unfolded, and Bollywood became a question mark, and a lot of things. And today we are actually listening to his diaries and what he has written and what he's trying to expose to us. So that's one good part of it. At least we're able to listen, hear what's written. And I do have some question. Let me see whether I can answer some question. I'm letting her speak the slides that she wanted to do. I have some in mind because I do not want to disturb the flow. Once she's done with her slides, and probably I'll ask one or two slides that I wanted to read. Uh, okay, let me just put up some of the messages here. Yes, frozen. What is this, Monica? I had a panic attack in my car during that night, and I don't know why. I had to get out of the car and breathe. I was horrible. Next day, we got a news that he had died. Hmm. Yes, some of his lovers, followers have some sense. Okay. Thanks. Thank you, Abba. Yeah, 13th June, it's like the Friday, the 13th, kind of the 13th June. It's like a day that we will never forget. Okay, the teacher is trying to come in. I hope this time she will be clear and there won't be any network issue. You know, frankly, today we are waiting for the justice, and this wait has been very frustrating. We've been patiently waiting. It's only in the social media that all of us are making a lot of noise. The other SSRA is making even more noise. But there's no sound from CBI. Why CBI is not giving us any news? It could just be a verdict. At least say whether it's a murder or not. You know, not it means like suicide is still in the card. Looks like it. They have not ruled out suicide. So all these are very sad. It's very sad. Seriously, it's very sad. Oh, she came in and she exited again. Okay, let me just see. Instead of asking autographs, these so-called Bollywood celeb, one is beaten, all were accused on public. Yes. Uh, 1 year time still in shock, but unfortunately no justice, but great icon saved many young people life. Yes. There's one thing admirable about Sushan is even though his life will be at stake, his life will be at risk, he was, concerned about the people, concerned about, you know, all living soul that they need to know what is happening around them. So I really love him for that. He didn't think about his life. He thought about a lot of people's life. So that's Sushant Singh Rajput, you know. And I'm very sure for the kind person he is or he was, he will definitely get justice. Karma will definitely come back and hit those people who did injustice to him. Okay, let me see whether she has messaged me anything. I realize only when she comes in my channel she has this problem. I don't know whether she has the same problem on other channels or not. Terrible night, totally agreed. I can't even imagine the torture he would have went through. Uh, Not only the physical torture, the pain he would have went through in his heart when he see that his own people whom he believed, his flatmates, someone he loved, they went against him. You know, it's a feeling of being cheated. It's a feeling of being betrayed. All these are very painful. So he's going through a lot of pain, and this 13th June is actually. I don't know how to describe this because any word is going to be, it's a, I can't describe that. Any word will be, won't be able to describe what Sushan would have gone through that night. Okay? Sushan is brave, was brave. He sacrificed himself for welfare of humanity. Exactly. Well said, Sneha. Uh, yes, who said he respects the country and best human being. Yes, Bachchan, when karma will attack them. Yes, my moon. We really, really need the truth for justice. Truth for justice. I think it's not. It's for, I guess. And dear viewers, what are you waiting to strike? Nothing is more negative to approach justice up to disclosure. Can't support the disclosure if something goes negative. Okay. The diaries were written over a period of time before Disha had died. Okay, let me just maybe just explain, share. I've read, I think it's about 30, 35 diaries. I started from the very first slides. I went all the way up to 35 slides. I read through the night. And yes, as I said, the content is very, very important. People need to be aware what it is, focus on that. And there's a lot of big names they have mentioned, big names, including all the Khans. They have mentioned the Kapoors, they have mentioned the duo. Uh, we also have mentioned the old time actors, the Kapoors, old time actors. There's one old time, I think Dave Anand was mentioned, if I'm not mistaken. And so many names have been taken in those slides. And I felt sad. I felt sad for some girls who've been, pushed to prostitution and pushed to take drugs. Okay, she's here. Hi, Deepti ji.
Hi, Bachanji.
Hi.
Yeah.
This only happens in my channel. No, whenever it comes in, there's disruption. Okay, good to have you back.
Yeah. So yeah, so there's a lot of material still in the slides, but and I also believe that the copies of the drives which I have, they are not the only copies that are there out there. For
Okay.
sure, there are other copies as well, maybe more
Hmm.
than two or more. So we don't know where they are, with whom are they. Okay, I just wanted to make this one thing clear. So maybe the CBI already has one copy of the drives and it didn't find it. What do you say? The information
Yeah.
or something. See, because one thing, if I am submitting, because I have already been through this Sridevi case journey since 2018, and also one thing, uh, the authorities know as well that if I submit the proof and receive the acknowledgement, I will be questioning them. I'll be asking them for accountability of the action. What have you done on that? What have you done on that? So here there is neither acknowledgement nor denial. There is total silence, or which actually is not acceptable.
I was sharing that also when you actually not when you left. I was sharing about that. Till today, there's no verdict given. What is happening to Sushant case? So, like what you said, DPG, these slides, maybe the CBI may have a copy, or maybe they have a different sets of slides. Like what you just said, probably you have got one portion, there'll be someone holding the other portions. But see, these are big names being disclosed in the slide, so I'm very sure CBI will not expose it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously because big names have never been exposed till date. If we go by the track record is dismal, and now it is making sense why nothing is coming out in Sushant's case. After going through the names that are mentioned in the slides, now it is making sense why the entire media, the mechanism, everyone is out there wants to bury or suppress the murder of Sushant's case, don't want the truth to come out.
yeah,
Now it is making sense after going through. I mean, he was killed because he wanted to expose all of this. And even Sridevi ji too wanted to hold a press conference after coming from Dubai. Even Shunanda Pushkar wanted to have a press conference. And even Sushant, if some reports are to be believed, he was planning to call a press conference soon.
right.
So before they can expose, they are silenced. This has been continuing since Divya Bharti's time. Divya Bharti, Gulshan Kumar, Parveen Bhabi, and Jia Khan, I'm not sure what is the angle, but yes, in Sushant's drives, it is mentioned that Jia knew a lot of things. Okay. And we are talking about Suraj Pancholi and Aditya Pancholi. Aditya Pancholi is someone who is he? He was even not even a successful actor or a hero, but he has such a clout in the industry,
I do know he's a
right?
good friend of
Where,
Salman Khan,
okay,
right?
good friend of Salman Khan, and then having this much clout. I mean, like, see, you understand, unless and until it's the entire system that is protecting them, okay, they are committing crimes upon crimes. Earlier, Suraj was involved in Jia Khan's case. Now his name is appearing in Sushant's case as well. So we don't know who exactly it is, but still, if our system doesn't punish the culprits on time, that means it is encouraging the crime,
True.
right?
Yeah.
So where is the justice here? Where is any justice here? We
Justice.
must introspect. We as a nation must introspect. I don't know. I cannot talk about other countries. So someone else was saying that it is the same elsewhere as well. I mean, if money power is there, justice still in their favor as well. But I cannot talk about other countries. But we as a nation should introspect. If the law enforcement, the law and order situation in the country, and if the ecosystem of the judiciary and everything is such that it is encouraging criminals to commit crimes and get away with it, then God save, God save humanity, God save mankind. That is what
DPG.
Sushant was against.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I think Dhruv is on the backstage. Shall I put him up?
Ah, yes, sure.
Mm. Hi, Dhruv.
Hello, hello, hello. I just came here to make one quick point. The show is going on really well. And yeah, there was some technical disturbances, Deepti ji told. And it was also, the screen was freezing. So I just thought I'll just come in if Deepti ji is not here. When she is already here, I don't think I am needed. You can kindly remove me off stream, ma'am.
Dhruv. Dhruv. Is he
Yes,
there?
I'm here, ma'am.
Yeah.
When Deepti ji is here, I don't think I can speak anything because
No, no,
she.
please,
Yes.
please.
I mean, I'm saying yes because a lot of people want to hear her read the slides. So, Dipti, do you want to continue with another slide?
Yes, Dhruji, would you like to say something before you leave?
Nothing. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Dhruv. Thank you for
Thank you,
coming.
ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah, Dhruv is very understanding because why, Dipti, I need you to read the slides is because my viewers get even upset that I'm speaking on the channel. They just want to hear you. So yeah, just continue the slides. I get bombarded with all the comments.
Trust me, I mean, I have never spoken my entire life so much as I'm speaking on the shows.
I know. I've been watching basically every day you are speaking and you're reading the slides. Sometimes, in fact, I feel bad asking you to come over, but I felt
No, no, it's
I
okay
even
because
yeah,
it's 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 for spreading the truth because you have a different base, you have a different subscriber base, your other channels have different subscriber base, so
yeah.
it is important that the truth reaches as many people as possible. So it's okay. I mean, like, yeah.
Okay,
So I was talking about Divya Bhati's case. I will start. Okay.
okay.
So I had given a brief introduction to Divya Bhati in my initial slides, but now I will go ahead with the entire case in total details of it. I'm sure and won't be surprised that your mind will blow up when you are going to read this. The reason Divya Bhati married Sajid was because she wanted to get to the roots of the wrongs that were happening in the industry. It's great shame on us that only the times changed and the structures of the body and the position of the individuals grew. But the society still remains there, only in cheat, corruption, greed, jealousy, and treachery. According to the reports I have from a very trusted and noble source, Divya Bharti had doubts on four people. I won't name the four, but will describe them in hints. 1. Music. 2. Is obvious. 3. Mr. Hot. 4. Hein. Here, music obviously refers to someone from T series or Nadim Shavan. We are not sure. It is my guess. 2 is obvious means since they spoke about Sajid prior to this, it might be Sajid Nadiadwala. If it says it's obvious. 3, Mr. Hot Sanjay Dutt. Might be because Divya Bharti died 1 month prior or later the bomb blasts, and Sanjay Dutt has an angle to it, right, has a connection to it. So Mr. Hot most probably is Sanjay Dutt. 4, Hein. Hein is obviously Big B, Bade Miyan, Amitabh Bachchan. So if you have caught who the four are, great. If not, you will know when the Pandora box opens. The girl who was determined to get to the roots of it discussed it out with me, and I did not have much of an idea how to guide her. But then she herself said, if she has to do it, she has to get into it. These were her very early days in Bollywood. The trusted source told me that this person with whom she discussed was like a senior figure to her. And when the source met him, 2012 to 2013, the source was not in the right frame of mind to discuss it out with him, which made the source have more doubts that it was a murder. However, I will come to it a little later. But according to this person, Divya was a very, very sharp girl and used to understand the entire context of any subject with the slightest of the hint, and started her work on following the trail. And after some rounds of initial research, she cornered out on Sajid Nadiadwala that if she is wanting to clear this mess out from the root of it, then she is getting married to Sajid Nadiadwala so that she can have a close look at how things are happening and how she can get to her goal without ever exposing herself or having any problems whatsoever. And to the wildest of her fears, when she met me some days after her marriage, her doubts were true. And it was not just these four, but a whole lot of people who were directly involved. About this, she was very, very disturbed as the society had glorified them as heroes or role models. These things, the source, the trusted source, the senior figure told Sushant about Divya. She wanted to expose the connection between the human trafficking and something major that was about to happen in Mumbai. Most probably, here he is referring to Mumbai blasts. Okay. She wanted to expose the connection between the human trafficking and something major, but that was about to happen in Mumbai. And with a small time fellow co star, she was doing her own bit of research by doing all that she could so that she could understand two codes that had become the biggest question mark in her life, and the two letters she found in which there were some codes. She wanted to decode the trusted source, who then went ahead and explained things to me, said that she had received both these letters from the person, Mr. X. Let's name him here. For now, the person whom Divya considered as the senior figure, and the senior figure went ahead to explain all that he had heard from Divya to this trusted source of mine. The contents of the letter were as follows. The first letter had alphabets written on them, which were written in a very strange and at a particular degree. There were total of important 13 alphabets. There were a total of 13 alphabets, all were of different angles altogether. I'm giving out the skeleton figure out to you so that you would know another important subject here which the mafia uses. It's the letters and the angles of the letters which is to be written. Now to explain this, I will demonstrate what exactly the contents will be. Imagine for now the letter you have is A and there is a red dot on the head of the A. Here, as I have tried my best to do it for you, here he has explained, something. I will script that, you won't understand. You can read, you can read the same on my Twitter profile. Okay. So, and where should the interesting aspect, okay. Then the head should point south, and where should this letter be used? The source told me that Divya got the answer through a cup of coffee, which instantly got her connected to yet another interesting aspect as to why her husband started suddenly showing interest in maps and atlas. The letter is to be used on a map, and on which map and how exactly to be used, the code was either given out on the phone or the coded structure or the code was given out orally by the person who came to deliver the letter. She got one opportunity to do it and she grasped the whole picture of how exactly is this working and what is the work of the code. The ABCD of the crime goes as follows: A. Adult trade. B. Benami black coal and bhadwagiri. C. Charas cocaine. D. Death, the person who is the target. E. Explosives, exclusively used during the 93 Mumbai. F. Firangi connections, ISI and other connections. G. Gundagardi, Danga, Fasad, areas where mob violence was to be started. H. Hawala Hafta Vasuli, where the funding money can be collected. I. I. Intoxication, chemicals used for honey trapping. J. Jail. H. Human trafficking. K. Knockouts. L. Litigation properties. M. Money laundering. N. Narcotics. O. Open house, horse betting types. P. Pimps network. Q. Queens. This is a huge chapter to explain in a word or two. R. Religious violence. S. Settlement. T. Terrorist network. U. Underworld network. V. Vicious activity. W. Warehouses. X. Extras. These are the people who are always there for everything. Y. Yard. Z. Everything. This is the ABCD of the crime and is used in every context of the industry. And the industry uses this in letters, and these letters are used independent coding. This is like the Gayatri of crime and is used almost every day. And how it is used, I will tell you in the next few slides. And then you will know that these are not simple words, but he is having a deep, deep, deep meaning in it. And at the end of the day, these are the alphabets that make the difference. Okay, here he was mentioning about the rise of mafia, their codes, how they operate, and all that. Okay.
Okay.
So these are some very dangerous things that he was covering and doing research into. So obviously there was threat on his life. And we can now understand why they wanted to bury this death as that of suicide. They didn't want to carry on further investigations because what we are reading is just explosion.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So you want me to read something further?
Yeah. Will you be
Sorry.
able to pull up the one on the three cons?
Three guns, sure. Just give me some time. A minute or two.
If you all have any particular slide that you want to be read, maybe you all can ask, but out of those slides that you request for, I probably can only be able to ask her to read one or two slides. So let's see how it goes. In those slides, there also a mention of the three cons. Let her read it, before I mention anything about it, because I specifically feel that she should actually read it. Sushant's view on opinion on what's happening, certain things that you all are not aware of, actually been mentioned in that slide. Maybe you would have read in her Twitter account. So let's wait for her. And let me see if I can- So I've been told to close my camera. Just give me a minute. Can you all hear me? Okay, now I'll open my camera. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Okay. How many times shall I continue?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. How many how many times I have seen all the three Khans eat, sleep, and drink together? But to the media and to the purses of the producers, these hate each other. I have learned a lot of lessons with one hosting I did, as the matter will go out of context and there is every possibility of you getting confused. I will get back to it in another independent chapter of the Cine Awards. But we'll definitely give a tip off here. And the tip off is the Amir Divya Bharti fight. Check it up on the net and you will get the story. How Amir declined to perform with Divya in a awards show, and how Salman came to her rescue and chipped in instead. This might look as a real fight, but the agenda behind it was something else. Salman has his style of selecting heroines. Shah Rukh has his style for the same. So does Amir. You might be confused why I wrote the three names in three sentences when the sentence could just be one. The reason is simple. Each of these people have their own style, and these are three different scenarios, three different cases, and each of the case should be handled individually. Since there is no much space left in this slide, I would prefer get the modus operandi of all these three in one slide or max cover it up in two. Let me finish this slide with a hint. Divyaji was slowly and steadily gaining popular and popular, and never was the casting couch kind of material. She was one who never cared whether she got a role or not, but was always worried only and only about what she was doing, why she was doing, and is she satisfied with what she was doing. Dirty Secrets, Mike Vanshan speaks. As there are pages to write on this man, Shah Rukh Khan. As there are pages to write on this man and the different times he had slipped and the controversies that were hid, this deserves a different chapter, and I have maintained one won't be discussing it anytime soon. But I have to be careful of the devil who, if gets hands on these documents, can use it for anything and gain a lot from these for his selfish motives. Salman Khan. From his relationships to his abusive nature, from the portrayal of the Garibon ka Devta, man with a golden heart for the poor, to the Bhaijan of Bollywood. Name the controversy, you have this man right up there as the front runner. And moreover, the angle of giving the much needed break, the kids of the Bollywood stars. If in one word I should pen down how nepotism is bred in the Bollywood industry, Salman Khan has a major role to play in it. The monopoly these people want to maintain in the industry and the tricks they play is the biggest dirty secret of the Bollywood industry and is one of the main reasons why real talents often feel left out. This doesn't mean talents don't sustain, but the journey for an outsider and the journey for someone from the cult is like sky and earth. And moreover, to act in the movies, no one gives a damn to your talent. All you need to have, if you want to be a heroine, is the slim, trim figure and the bomb kind of image. And the industry these days go behind the skin than the talent. Small examples are you see a lot of overseas dancers in the backdrops. But have you ever thought why? If you think this is coincidence, no. My friend, you're wrong. This is a big trap setup which can give three solutions to everyone. Drugs. These foreign models are easy carriers because they often go undetected, untouched, and the clothing they wear, the eyes that need to take action on and do the checking are actually elsewhere. And 80% of the times they can easily get away. And these models too themselves most of the time savor it, and hence it becomes even the more easy because all that is needed to be done is feed them some, they take care of the rest. And these people, trust me, are loyal and get the job done perfectly. My fingers shiver when I type this, but yes, if this has to stop and the right culture has to come back, some hard realities have to be penned down. And yes, though I am not at all, even for a fraction of a second, comfortable doing this and assassinating the character of women or people, which I have never done, nor I have liked or wanted people to do. Um from there, actually, some next phrase continues. There was more on Shah Rukh Khan and Salman Khan, but I'm not finding it now. Just give me a second.
Sure. Yeah. There's one question by someone on the disclaimer part. The reason that she put up a disclaimer in her Twitter account, she have already explained at the beginning of this show. So if you want to answer for that, probably you can actually rewind it and watch it later. She have an answer for why she actually put up a disclaimer. Because I think someone asked it in the comment section, and I think someone even helped me answer it too. Go on, Deepti.
Yeah. Am I clear?
Yes, yes, you are.
Yeah. So there's some more on the Khans here. There's a lot on Salman Khan and his NGO being humanized. Okay, that I will cover sometime later, or some days. Okay, this is one slide which mentions Amir Khan and Shah Rukh Khan. I'll just finish this. Uh, so let this be the last slide for today, Bachanji. What do you say?
Okay, Ji.
Okay.
Sure,
All
sure.
right. Okay. So in order to play into her psyche and make her believe and get played into the trap which could actually make her feel did she really belong to the industry, while another supported her and got her totally confused. There was one award function where Divya was supposed to do a dance with Amir, and Amir ditched her in the last minute only for Salman to step up and act the savior. These award functions are the biggest curse on young talents, and the talents end up getting frustrated, mostly during these award shows or the after parties that follow. Take my instance itself. That day when the award show happened, when Shahid and Shahrukh took a dig on me, I literally was confused and began to have an impression, did I actually belong here? Because what happened that day, though I couldn't publicly display my emotions, only I know deep down in my heart how I felt and how I got over it. With all this said and done, let's now get into the details of how the Khans gained monopoly or the notorious nature they possess. Amir Khan. Amir Khan has this vicious habit of spitting on the hands of his heroine and is known to be the real prankster on the sets of the movie. There is not one heroine on whose hands he has not spit, and when asked about it, he says, whosever hands he has spit, they have instantly become famous. Not just this, the Mr. Perfect, so as the term Amir Khan has been coined, is a highly religious person and is always in one way or the other trying to propagate Islam and look down upon other religions. He is closely connected to Turkey and some other connections of his where his agenda is very clear around the Islamic State angle, and these points are not taken up, never discussed, or even no one on earth is least bothered even to cover such points. At the end of the day, if someone wants to, then he is purposely trapped into a web of controversy, and it becomes increasingly difficult for the person to get out of it. Like in my case, When I decided to stand up against what was wrong, I was trapped in the Padmavat fiasco. This is what happens. These people, as I said, are so closely connected, but to the public eye, they act as if they are at constant war with each other. And this is why people fall a trap to their games. Shah Rukh Khan. This man was a no one some years back, but now with name, fame, and money has become a monster. Most of us should be knowing this Khan is behind so many kind of things that most of the times his wife steps in and puts a ban on him working with a certain actress. I don't want to go in detail about this topic now. Um, I think that's after that there were some proofs or something, so that ended there. I request the people to be a bit patient till we cover, I mean, going through all the material that I have laid my hands on before making judgments, or I mean, I do understand. So,
Yeah.
in fact, it's
Actually,
a miracle. It's a miracle. It's a miracle that his drives have actually for. I mean, we
yeah,
have gotten access to it in the first place. Okay,
correct.
so yeah.
Exactly, Deepti. Just going back on the last slide that I actually read that he felt hurt on the stage. He tried not to show it, but actually he was hurt. We all saw. In fact, we all were hurt the way he was actually humiliated on, made fun of on stage. I wanted
Yes.
to you to read specifically these two slides. Thanks for reading that. Deepti, I just want to ask you. You have been reading quite a bit of slides on different channel, and I believe even news channel want to cover you. But do you have you got any threat so far, or have the government officials have contacted you after this? Uh, I mean, whatever the news that you're sharing on social media, was there anybody who connected with you?
Ah, yes, yes. I have received feelers from someone from authority side. It is too early to talk about it because in Srideviji's case also I was promised a lot of support and cooperation, but ultimately things couldn't work out. So right now, after I started sharing these drives, the reason for which I actually shared these drives on Twitter after having failed to meet the CBI officer in charge is because of this only. And actually, people are taking notice. Okay, and Amit Bhadwajji of G News, he had also contacted me. So, I mean, this happened because I am now proceeding with caution because in Srideviji's case as well, we had talks with Deepak Chaurya. See, we were about to do the live and I mean the interview and all. Everything, I mean, nothing happened on wrong. So here since you asked, I will say it's too early to say about it. I have received some feelers from the authority side, and yes, I do believe that people are saying now that Uddhav Thackeray, Mr. Thackeray had meeting with our Prime Minister, and now they might form an alliance in the state, and the justice movement will take a hit. See, let us not tie everything to the justice thing. Okay, let us think of another what do you say, another prospect here that maybe after this alliance forms things will start moving, though
Okay.
total justice might never happen. See, now nothing is happening, right?
Yeah.
Maybe after the let us see, let us not just jump to conclusions. I believe that with the coming of the new CBI director, because of the kind of feelers that I am getting, the government is showing some interest. I'm talking about the both the sides. I don't know. I'm not sure. It is too early. But yes, I think some movement should happen in the case very very soon. Things are
Yes.
very slow, of course, but then let's see. Let's wait out. Yes, but you should continue doing what you're doing. Talk about
Thanks.
this. Keep the fire of justice on. Keep people asking. People should not. I mean, wait means it doesn't mean wait being silent. Keep up the pressure.
We will. In fact,
Yes.
DPG, there's one point that you raised. Sometimes when we have the evidence in our hand, even the government official asks us, we are a bit reluctant to hand it over because afraid that will this be exposed in the right way or will it be manipulated? We will not know. So that will always be in their head. Hopefully, it goes in the right hand, especially after you did Sri Devi's case. But who knows? Like what you say, maybe it's for the better. Probably they are heading in the right direction now. But yeah, thanks a lot. There's quite a bit on the question, but I think most of the question they asked you have already answered in this video as well as in other someone else a video, like about the spelling and all that. All those questions actually have popped up. But the disclaimer part and all that. DPG, there's one question someone asked saying that how many more diaries to be exposed? Like for example, you have done about 35 diaries, and am I
Lots, I
right?
think. See, some files are there which contain some videos, some photos, some documents, and all. And rest of the matter that is there, I will say I have not yet decided what to do with those.
Mm,
First, I want to cover whatever it is there in the entire thing. And as I am saying that the decoding is still going on every day, it's a daily process. So it's 700 GB of data. So let's see. The first step is that we need to cover what is in that. I mean, the entire content we should cover before even thinking of handing it over to someone. And if in
mm,
between the CBI people come and say that they would like to, I mean, if they
mhm,
already do not have a copy with them, and if they come ahead and say that they want to have access to it, definitely, because see, this is something digital. You can have them. I can have the master access with me and let them have access to the material, right?
mm. Correct. Right.
So that is
Yeah.
possible, right? So,
Okay.
so the
Yeah.
So this no
Something.
worry. I mean, even if you people roar louder and make the people CBI take notice and accept or acknowledge these drives, don't worry. Uh, the content will always be shared with the public. What Sushant wanted to bring to light.
Mm. No, every diary I read, I actually am looking forward because similar to me, a lot of viewers out there, or friends out there, there's one question, is there any mention of Disha Salem? Because Disha Salem was actually murdered on the 8th. After
See,
that, I'm very
Ria,
sure
Ria,
Sushant must have written.
Ria Chakravarti, Disha Shali, and Siddharth, they come in the later stages,
Yeah, correct.
right? We
Yeah,
haven't yet gone there.
yeah. So
We
I'm
haven't yet
anxiously
gone
waiting
there.
for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, see, I cannot decide the pace. I mean, whatever comes, let's say this is such an interface, and he has so designed it so superbly that it takes time to break encryption of each file. Not only that, we do not have the option to go back. Neither the cursor can go back, nor, I mean, if we, like, there is only the option to move forward. And I cannot jump the slides. I cannot decide which file to download, or it is in a sequence. I have to follow the sequence. I cannot break the sequence.
Okay.
That's how we has
Oh,
programmed and encrypted it.
okay. Yeah, but
Totally
anyway,
tamper
what you're
proof.
doing is, yeah,
Yeah, totally tamper
the oh,
proof.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the way you're exposing it is good because you're going one diary by diary is good because I don't want to miss any one of it. I want to read every single thing. So yes, do it the way you're doing. There's someone who messaged in the beginning of this show. His name is Srinivas. He said that whether he can come on online to speak to you, but I told him that I'll ask you first. If you're okay with it, I'll put him up. But if you're not, then I need to send out the link. But if you're not, it's okay. So I'll leave it to you. His name is
It's okay,
Srinivas
just pick.
Patnaik. Okay.
Yep,
Srinivas, if you're
please.
there,
Just take,
uh, he
yeah,
said he
just
got
one
two
question.
questions. Okay. Srinivas, just you can come. I'm sending, putting up the link here, but just ask one or two questions, and then probably she need to leave too. He said he have a message here. If I can read the message, then he don't have to come.
Bachant sis, kindly show my message if possible. ଦୀପ୍ତି
Yeah.
ଭଉଣୀ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ମୋ ନମସ୍କାର। ଆପଣ ବହୁତ ଭଲ କାମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି। କୁକୁର ଭୋକିବେ, ମୋ କଥା ବୁଝନ୍ତୁ। Sis, let her read my message. Okay. He's
Okay.
he typed it in Odia actually. He means I mean Bachchan sis kindly show my message if possible. Deepti Bhavani apnanku mo namaskar means Deepti sis my salutations to you. ଆପଣ
Okay.
ବହୁତ ଭଲ କାମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି I mean you are doing a good job. କୁକୁର ଭੌଙ୍କିବେ dogs will bark. ମୋ କଥା ବୁଝନ୍ତୁ means understand what I'm saying. Sis, let her read my message. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Fine.
what he has written.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
Srinivas ji, I
Right.
understand. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Yeah. I agree with you. We should ignore the barking dogs. Yes. And we should continue with the good work. Yes, I understand it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your encouragement.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Srinivas. I hope you're happy also because you've been trying very hard to send this message to you so that you'll read it. Okay, Deepti, I will not hold you any longer. Thank you so much for coming on my show. Continue fighting for justice. I'll pray for you and God bless you, and of course for your safety too. Can you hear me?
Continue spreading the word. Continue spreading. He has taken a lot of pains. He has sacrificed his life. Kindly spread the truth to the people. People should. It's our duty to fight for him and his justice.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Deepti. Good night. Good night.
Okay.
Good night.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Good night. Good night.
Good night. Bye. Okay. Sorry, viewers. I have to let her go because she have already been asking me a few times, that she wanted to leave because she had been sharing in a lot of channels and she's very tired. In fact, yesterday she had one channel that she's sharing the slides on Friday. So basically, the whole week is occupied. So as much as y'all wanted her to continue speaking in my channel. I wanted her to, but I do not want to hold her back. She's tired. She needs some rest. Okay, so back again. Today is the 13th of June. I do see some questions on some comments coming up saying that he died on the 14th, he died on the 13th. Yes, he was found dead on the 14th morning. According to forensic, they believe that the whole incident must have happened on the probably after 13 midnight, maybe 2 a.m., 3 a.m., do not know, but it happened 13th or late night 13th or early morning of 14th. But sadly, such thing have happened to him. But today, after 1 year, some of the diary information is being actually exposed in social media. So, as I said, karma has started taking effect. Hope more information will be exposed in social media as well in the news channel. And let's pray for Sushant's justice. It's 1 year now. I hope it will not be another 1 year. Let's hope that Sushant gets justice ASAP as soon as possible. So good night. Thank you. Thank you for joining my channel and thank you for joining. I'm so sorry I can't answer all the questions because I do not want to disturb her. I just wanted her to finish the slides. Thank you so much. I'll have her again in my channel. Bye-bye.